But I have cried because of you.
Times.
That's recorded for history.
Paul's joining us as well. She's on speak too.
Okay, I'm gonna call to order the Isabel County Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee. At this time, is there any additions that need to be added to the agenda before we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, seeing none, we will continue with the agenda as presented. First up, call to the order, the public's. I do not see anybody here physically. Is there anybody on the phone wishing to make a comment?
Yeah, but I see.
Okay, there will be an opportunity towards the end of the meeting for the public to make a comment, so we will continue on with the agenda items. Okay, first up, consider approving fiscal year 2022 emergency management performance grant agreement in the amount of $11,044 and authorize the board chair to sign the same. We have the 911 director, Mark Griffith, here to explain.
Morning, Commissioners. This is the same EMPG grant that you have seen twice a year. First for the work agreement, which states we're going to do all of these things, followed by the actual grant agreement coming after we've done all those things, which is a little bit unusual, but it's been that way for more than my years of career. This award is for $11,044. It's actually up a little bit. You're seeing a 40.29% able towards the match of the 50-50 intent of the grant. It does pay the portion of the director's or coordinator salary that comes into it, the cost for the program. It's standard. You see it every year. So I'm just pleased to report we're up slightly from last year.
Okay, like I said, we've seen this before. It's just, I'm glad to see it's up a little bit because with everything else, cost of living and everything else in there. One real question I have is this scheduled for an October 1st year end or a calendar year? Does that make a difference as far as counting or?
This one, actually, I work with Melissa and Chris on doing different payments on that stuff. I believe this one books back from all the work that was previously done in this fiscal year
So
currently.
it's
even
like
though
the other
bad.
ones goes
Yes.
back.
Yep. It'll
I
go
know,
back.
I know we're kind of moving things ahead to year
Yep.
end as far as.
Yep.
I
And
just wondering.
you've already approved the work agreement for next fiscal year, so this will come again just about the same time.
Okay,
We hit it.
so we're working backwards.
Yep.
I'll make a motion if there's nothing else. I could move to consider approving the fiscal year 2022 emergency management performance grant agreement in the amount of $11,044 and authorize board chair and move it to the Board of Commissioners meeting Tuesday.
I will support that. Is there any more discussion? The motion as presented. Seeing I don't see the vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The motion has passed. We will move this forward to the work session.
Standing, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mark.
Yep.
Okay. Like I said, we've seen this one quite a few times, and it's very important for salary. So. Okay, next up is consider approving the agreement for attorney services for the indigent individual to manage a signed council contract effective October 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2023, and authorize the board chair to sign the same. And we have our public defender here to explain it. So,
Morning.
Councilman.
Same thing as what Mark just said. This is something that we bring forward every year. This is the contract with our manager assigned counsel. So these are attorneys that do not practice in the public defender office. They handle 25% of the MIDC controlled cases, meaning criminal defense, but they also handle those cases that are not controlled by the MIDC standards, including juvenile delinquency, neglect and abuse cases. So under the MIDC controlled cases, they are paid out at the approved MIDC standard rates, and then the non-MIDC controlled cases, the juvenile delinquency, neglect and abuse, they're paid at a rate of $300 per case. This is just a re-up of the contract that we come forward with every year. So we're asking the board to approve the continuation of that contract. More importantly, it doesn't affect the local share.
I know previously you were concerned about getting those slots filled, or is that still a concern?
Still a concern.
Okay.
Yeah, we've had a number of people drop off the contract due to medical reasons, other job opportunities. One of the public defenders just recently left to become the Roscommon County prosecutor. One left for medical reasons. So they are dwindling.
I know it's a couple of names played on it for quite a while, it's a long time.
Yep, yeah, exactly.
You talked them into staying at that?
Yeah, I'm nervous for the day that Mr. Shirley decides to retire. But you know, we have people that have been on there a long time, and we have fresh faces as well. You know, and it's something that isn't unique to our county where there's an attorney shortage. There is. You would have told me that 15 years ago when I was in law school, I never would have believed you, because we had the largest class in law school. But there is, and I know it's not unique to our county. I talked to the Midland County Public Defender yesterday, and they're going through the same thing.
Do you think it's not that they're not going in public service and other things, or just the numbers are down?
Moving out of state.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I really don't know the answer.
So I know 3 or 4 attorneys that are not practicing law, they're doing other things. And I just wonder if that's something they're just.
And I know, like,
interested in.
talking to the Midland Public Defender yesterday, you know, he says, we've got 3 people on our contract that are in their 60s, and we've got 3 people on our contract that are early 30s. He's like, there's no one in between. So it's either, I don't know if it's just the profession where there's a lot of people getting ready to retire and there's not a whole lot of younger people doing this. I don't know the answer.
It's a case with a lot of professions
Yeah.
right now.
Exactly. So, you know, it's,
The average age of a farmer is 63 or 64 now, so that's
Wow.
scary. You know, young people coming into the
Yeah.
industry anymore, so.
How's your caseload lately? Still pretty heavy?
depends on who you ask. If you ask MIDC, they say cases are down across the state.
Oh,
You know, I think looking at case filings with the court, it's pretty steady with what it was before COVID. It's not a whole lot of up or down. It's pretty much pre-COVID number. If there's a pre-COVID, whatever, it's right around the same. I haven't run them yet. Our quarterly report is due at the end of the month, so I'll get that information, you know, in 2 weeks. I have a more definite answer for that. But last time I looked, it's right around what it was in, you know, fall of 2019.
I know we've scrambled a little bit around as far as the video and the technology are used. Is that, I'm sure you're having some problems with it, but is that having any real major effects or not, or is everything working well?
I think everything's working well.
Okay. I know we do more video conferences, more.
And then there's been a transition to go back to in-person hearings. And so it's just a matter of what type of hearing is in person versus what's remote versus.
Now, does the client, I guess you would call, have the ability to request a personal one, or do they?
Yes, yep.
they do?
Ultimately, there's a Michigan court rule that says if the defendant requests in person, that it's in person. And then the attorney has to be in person as well.
Do you get very many requests like that, or
No.
Okay.
I've had maybe a handful that say right at the get-go that they want it in person, but I can count the number on one hand.
Do you have any More questions?
Nope.
And I am circulating the contract right now for the signatures. So I'm waiting to get, I should have that by the end of the week, all the attorney signatures.
Yearly, good luck on recruiting.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right?
All right, I'll make a motion, move to bring forward the approval of the agreement for attorney services for indigent individuals effective October 1st, 2022 to September 30th, 2023.
I will support that motion. Is there any more discussion on that? Seeing none, we will proceed to vote. All in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The motion has passed and we will move that forward to the work session.
Thank you.
And thank you.
I should
Thanks,
add,
Tom.
I'm waiting for the MIDC contract from MIDC. I created an account for you on egrams. I haven't heard back from MIDC if that's available. I check our egrams account daily to see if it's in there. I haven't heard back. So as soon
Okay.
as I do that, I'll be back here to get that done.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're up to announcements. Any announcements? Seeing none, I just would like to recommend that everybody sign up for the 911 system if they're watching here today. So it's important. So with that, I will move for a call to the public. I see nobody here physically. Is there anybody on the phone or online? Seeing none, we will call the meeting adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.